I promised you that once again it was going to get warm, and get warm it has. I'm Joey, Only Caribbean Weather Dude. Hit like, share, and subscribe. Welcome to the channel. Thunderstorms are coming back to British Columbia. Temperatures are going to stay pretty nice still for the next week still, but we do have a little bit of thunderstorm activity coming Sunday and especially Monday into BC. So this is bad news. There it is. This is bad news. My God.
Falling out right now.
Anything could happen. Get on! Wow. I'll watch the video later. Ain't dry mopping this. I now have my personal weather station on Weather Underground. I'll put the link down there in the comments, I think. But you can always go here now and see what I'm seeing here in Wells at weatherground./pws/iwells72. We're still at this time of night, 6:36 when I'm doing the final touches on this video. It's still 20 degrees Celsius here in Wells, pretty nice. 20 degrees, light wind, zero precipitation today. Very cool Vivo weather station that I got. I will be putting a review on the channel here of this weather station very soon, but just one day, and it comes with free subscription to Weather Underground when you start transmitting data on Weather Underground, so that's nice. These forecasts are sponsored by Wildfires, Floods, and Chaos Communications Podcast. That's at communicationspodcast.ca. That's a podcast made by a team of information officers that have worked through public relations in emergency situations such as wildfires and floods in British Columbia and things like that. Very interesting. I really enjoyed the first podcast, which when he's talking about how they have to deal with this whole new aspect of public relations, which is dealing with people who have their own ideas, conspiracy ideas and things like that, and reminded me to be patient. So here, welcome to the channel, sponsored by Wildfires, Floods, and Chaos Communications Podcast. Okay, here's our weather maker, the 500 millibar animation. That's the jet stream, more or less. That's the prevailing winds that bring the weather to you. So as you can see, we got this nice ridging going on this week, still staying pretty warm all the way up into the Northwest Territories, through Alberta and whatnot. And we don't know exactly when this will completely finally play out once and for all, but it could be that we have at least a good solid week or more of nice weather still yet ahead. Off the bat in southern BC, there is a slight risk of thunderstorm, I think, on Sunday. There's not a lot of moisture to work with, I don't believe. So these aren't going to be necessarily long-lasting thunderstorms, or they may be relegated mostly to the mountaintops and places like that. And I do not expect severe to be part of the characteristics of these storms. Looking at North America right now, this sitting up over top of North Quebec is a low pressure system that is jettisoned out of British Columbia. That was our last bad weather maker we had there. As you can see, it's a little bit cooler. Weather's down sort of in the east right now. We do have some temperature, minimum daily low temperature records being broken, but also some warm weather out in Newfoundland. Big high pressure right now making Western Canada pretty warm. Seems like a little bit of precipitation probably going on up in northern BC, up near Fort Nelson and whatnot. Some of this larger line that's making its way to Watson Lake is sort of breaking off secondarily and going over towards Fort Nelson a little bit. Mostly clear skies in BC right now. Temperatures at Kamloops 33 degrees at around 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock right now. I'm recording this. Talioco seeing 30 degrees. 34 is down there in Oregon. 43 down in Southern California. Very hot temperatures, and things a little bit cooler in Ontario. Things a little bit cooler through the East Coast. Things a little bit cooler in the Maritimes. Things a little bit cooler up in northern Quebec and whatnot. Cooler up by the Arctic Circle, finally. Still things pretty warm though in Northwest Territories and in the Yukon, 21s, 20s and whatnot at 6 p.m. Abbotsford seeing 30, 32 at Port Alberni. It gets pretty warm there sometimes, to 34 at Princeton, 35 at Osoyoos, 31s through Kelowna, Vernon, 33 Kamloops, 34 at Ashcroft, 35 in Lytton, 28s and 29s in Williams Lake, Quesnel. By Sunday afternoon, that low should still be sitting there in just a small localized low in more or less Washington State. That high pressure still prevailing off the coast. This low kind of stuck in there, squeezed in there. He's going to be more or less the story maker for Monday. Not a lot of rain coming with these guys. These don't look like incredibly deep thunderstorms or you don't have a lot of moisture to work with. Even by 8 p.m., you're looking at very dry conditions in the central interior, 34% humidity. things like that. So not a lot of moisture for these popcorn and thunderstorms to work off of. Some of them may be at 9 a.m. You might see a little bit of thunderstorm activity popping up in southeastern BC. But look at here, look at it take off. Expecting a pretty good outbreak of thunderstorms on Monday afternoon. It is going to be a little bit of that cape down in southwestern BC, so that might make some of those storms a little bit stronger, especially up in those Cascades there. Maybe same goes for Revelstoke and through some of the Shuswap lakes there. Strong thunderstorms. Kamloops looking pretty good for you. Not a lot of rain expected in these storms on Monday afternoon. Look at rainfall accumulation, say from Monday to Wednesday. Pretty much none. Go further out to Friday. Still pretty much none for BC. But for today, we're only talking about this. Talking about this potential for Monday. There you go, your guys down through Princeton. Same place. They always seem to kick up there by Hope Manning. Been a lot of storms down there this last year. Looks like from Revelstoke up towards Valemount should be pretty good looking storm there by Kinbasket Lake. Expecting that. Maybe through Caribou. This will be on the Alberta side as well. Probably going to see stronger storms in Alberta side. The convective available potential energy looks higher for them. We see a very unsettled situation throughout the west where a lot of thunderstorms are popping up through mainly the mountains. But as you can see, some of these will be in northern Saskatchewan as well, where there is fire stuff happening that today we won't be talking about because I don't have time for it. We'll make a brand new forecast video soon. There is this low sitting off the far coast there that we're wondering what it's going to do. It seems to be deepening. 985, pretty low already. Looks like a sort of classic looking fall sort of storm. So we're wondering what that's going to do still yet, and that's for the future forecast videos. The same place we saw that convective available potential energy, Revelstoke, up into Columbia's north of there, maybe through the Monashees as well. What would you call that? So the mountains there just outside Clearwater anyways, north of Seymour Arm. And wherever this place is on the Columbia River, look out. Strong storms in Alberta, strong storms in northern Saskatchewan. Hanging around Revelstoke till late. Might have some nocturnals there fire off. We'll have more information probably about that for you all by Monday morning. Nocturnal storms going off through Montana overnight. Nocturnals into Saskatchewan overnight. There's our low pressure system still deepening. That will be probably the maker of a future story Tuesday. Going to see that thunderstorm potential really start to move east to BC, and that high is going to still keep taking over the situation, and that's why the temperatures will still be pretty goddamn nice when we get into Wednesday, more or less. Yeah, looking nice for Vancouver Island. Looks like that heat wants to stick around a little bit longer. Very, very hot still in California. That is being funneled up through that high up the west coast, making everything very, very lovely. There's those weather summaries I was talking about. New Brunswick, new low record of 2.5 degrees. Record was kept there since 1962. Whereas in Newfoundland, they set a record high at Wabash Lake area, 24.4 degrees. That's all for Canada's records today. Here's our composite reflectivity, kind of imaginary radar. What could we be looking at? Doesn't really show much for Sunday here, so GFS isn't too stoked on the idea. It is a little bit more in line with Monday having the possibility of some stronger storms. It looks like that Revelstoke area, GFS seems to agree that more or less that part of BC is the target area. And after that, BC is looking pretty nice. Those storms move through Saskatchewan and northern Manitoba. Things more or less get pretty nice for BC again for the next little while. That's all that is. Surface-based Cape, a little bit on Sunday, but it's Monday where they seem to think that some of that surface-based Cape is really there, especially through the Cascade Mountains and perhaps up that area by Revelstoke there. So could be a wider potential for thunderstorm activity in BC on Monday. Everyone look forward to, I mean, things aren't that wet still, that a few days of this drier, hotter weather hasn't worked to completely change the fire situation. So we will be having a video here in the channel in the next day or two about wildfire situation going forward this week and what we can look for to the end of the season in BC. However, right now we are looking at the possibility that there could be some fire start still yet to start September, as that convective available potential energy gives us thunderstorms that could fire a lot of lightning. Here's the group I run on Facebook, Interior Weather and Wilderness Watchers. 37,000 members. People saw some nice northern lights in BC last night. Some of these look pretty spectacular. Very beautiful there. Kimberly Johnson. Nice one. Really like that one. Jolo, Primrose. Beautiful photo. Seen it in Falkland last night. Lots of photos there on Interior Weather and Wilderness Watchers of all these wonderful northern lights. Don't expect to see any of that tonight. The risk has seemingly gone down. That doesn't mean there isn't nothing to look forward to in September. There is for sure. besides the warm weather, there's this. Comet Sushinshan, quite the name for it. It will be coming close to Earth on the 12th of October, so that should give us a pretty good show. It's quite possible this could be the brightest comet. This is a comet that's never been inside the inner solar system before, so it's never had a chance to shed any of its various gases and water and things like that that could light up when it gets close enough to the sun. So this could be the chance to see this comet really do its thing, and then it's going to jettison off into the netherworlds of outer space, probably never to return. So it's not just a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but certainly for this particular comet, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So they've known about this one for a little while, but now it's finally going to be making its presence felt soon near Earth. It should be visible first in later September, but then once again, and we're going to catch it at a time when we don't have the moon absolutely at its full max. So going to have some nice dark skies where we should be able to possibly see this one with your naked eye, we're hoping. Anyways, that's what I got for you today. Warm temperatures through the week. Going to feel like summer more or less still in BC for the next little while. Maybe a little bit warmer than seasonal, but nothing that unusual. We're not talking extreme heat wave or anything like that, but very nice fall weather for sure. We are entering meteorological fall on September 1st, so we are looking at nice start to the season. Nonetheless, we got this round of thunderstorms, particularly on Monday. That's going to make things very interesting. Okay, hit like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time, everybody. Bye for now.